Good morning, class 10. So in the previous lecture, I told you about the different conferences that were held. I told you about the population conference in Egypt. I told you about the Earth Summit that was held. Then the next important topic from this chapter is about the multinational corporations. So today we'll be discussing another very important ICSE question, that is about satellite imagery. Satellite imagery, it's not something, it's not no longer a novelty. We know about this particular technique, satellite imagery for weather forecasting that we hear in the news. What is going to happen with the weather tomorrow, we come to know only because of satellite imagery. So now what is satellite imagery is, we send satellites which are fitted with cameras and they are sent to space. Now this particular satellite imagery that we are talking of, why it is in so much of use today is because of the degradation of the environment, the large scale deforestation that is taking place. Then there is flood, there are droughts, there is forest fire, there is desertification, there are so many phenomenon occurring everywhere, destruction occurring everywhere. It gets very difficult to monitor these particular happenings all over the world physically. So how have we made this monitoring system simple today is through satellite imagery. So a camera is mounted in the satellite and we send these satellites to space. These satellites take pictures, whether it is the shrinking forest cover, whether it is forest fire or any such natural calamity that is happening anywhere. The pictures are taken by the satellites, sent to Earth, and then the environmentalists, the researchers, they work on these pictures, they understand the scenario, what is happening, and then what happens is, because we get early pictures, we can then take steps. We can strategize as to what needs to be done to overcome that particular phenomenon. So the best part of satellite imagery is that, one is you can 100% depend. It is not a false photograph that is being sent by the satellites. It is 100% taken by the satellites to all the natural happenings in the environment, captured, sent on time to the environmentalists and the researchers, so that the corrective action can be taken on time and we can hence protect the environment. So one day's image will never help. So now satellite imagery, as I have written down for you, there are two types. One is sequential images and one is instantaneous image. So what is the meaning of sequential? Is that you take, like suppose the forest cover is disappearing in some place. Okay, so what we do is we take sequential images, that is, images are taken today, tomorrow, maybe after a week, after a month. This is called sequential imagery. You take for a period of time, and maybe after 1 month we understand what is the actual loss in the forest cover. With one day's picture, you will never be able to understand whether the forest cover has become less or it has increased. So pictures which are taken over a long period of time, and then we try to understand whether the forest cover is shrinking or it is increasing, that method of imagery is called sequential. That means it is taken in sequence to understand a particular phenomenon. Okay, and the second one is instantaneous. Say there is flood somewhere, say there is forest fire somewhere, you instantly need to take action, you cannot wait. Okay, so circumstances where people cannot wait, it's like the Amazonian forest fire that was there, okay, in Brazil and so many other places where the Amazon forest is covered. The forest fire which led to the killing of so many animals. So this a picture of the forest fire is called instantaneous. You immediately take the picture from the satellite so that instant remedy, instant solutions can be worked upon. Okay, like I take a picture today, I cannot work on the forest cover. Okay, it's a long-term process. So sequential imagery works there. But for natural disasters like forest fire or flood or drought, we take instantaneous picture so that immediate corrective measures can be taken, right? So if you are asked in ICSE what are the two types of satellite imagery, they are sequential and instantaneous, right? So now the next question that arises is, what is the advantage of satellite imagery? So satellite imagery is a monitoring system. It's a study system where it gives us a chance to reconsider and then react and then take steps to save the environment. So there are different circumstances, as I told you, different damages, flooding, droughting, deforestation, desertification, so many calamities that are occurring everywhere. We are better able to understand weather forecasting also. We are better able to understand today only because of this particular technology, that is satellite imagery. Okay, so satellite imagery becomes one important asset for us in this modern age to save the environment. And then your next part of your chapter talks of sustainable development. So I have given you in-depth study on what is sustainability. So once again I'm telling you, sustainability or sustainable development. What does sustainable development mean? Development, when I say only development, it means that a country is growing economically. Lot of wealth is coming into the country. You have lots of industries and factories and flyovers and many things which will bring money to your country, but at the cost of the environment. Your country is earning money, it becomes wealthy, it may become developed, but at the cost of environment, meaning you have degraded the environment to earn money. Whereas when I say sustainable development, this is a new term and the entire world is trying to achieve sustainable development. What does sustainable development mean? It means development, that means construction of industries and factories and flyovers and dams and whatever you require, you construct those, but at the same time you keep the environmental needs into consideration. That means you try not to damage the environment when we are trying to develop. So when we cater to the financial needs of the country as well as the ecological needs of the country, that is called sustainable development. So the whole world is running to achieve sustainable development. It's not easy, as I told you, lots of measures have to be taken by each and every individual to achieve sustainable development. We need to remove poverty from the country, we need to remove population from the country, then only the dream of sustainability will become a truth in the coming future. So you have to have an idea to what is sustainable development, and you also need to know that the word sustainable development was first used in the book Our Common Future. The name of the book is Our Common Future. For the first time, sustainable development was described in this particular book. Okay, so a brief understanding of sustainability you have to understand, and how NGOs are playing a very important role in bringing about sustainability, how they are helping to eradicate poverty, how they are educating people to control population, how they are trying to look for medicines for incurable diseases, how they are trying to tell the MNCs not to mine too much, how they are making laws and how they are trying to make the government put the laws very strictly into use. So this is what the NGOs are doing to achieve sustainability. So I have discussed two topics with you: satellite imagery and sustainable development. One more class and then your syllabus will be complete. I will try to do the last part of your chapter in the next class, that is about alternate technology. Thank you, class.